At the beginning of August, the longtime mecca of fighting games, EVO, took place in Las Vegas, Nevada. Amongst the 8 games to appear on the main stage was a game you may have seen on the channel time and time again. Yep. It's Victoria 2! No, it's Melty Blood type Lumina. It somehow snuck its way for a second year in the City of Sin. As soon as the announcement came out, I saw people talking about going and how this would most likely be its last time as an EVO main game. With that in mind, I knew I had to be there. So I immediately signed up, booked my flight and my room, and continued grinding. This would be my second time ever going out to an event without any Smash games in attendance, the first being Climax of Night, though there I was also in the MBAC bracket at least. Note, I did sign up for Marvel 3 to help its numbers and was initially intent on playing, but I realized way too late that my pool was at the same time as Melty Top 6, and I decided to DQ from it because Top 6 was way too hype. But more on that later. To close out this opening, I would not be making the over 4-hour trip alone, as I would be rooming with fellow Floridian and absolute King Medusa. While we both definitely wanted to do the best we could, I had 2 personal goals I really wanted from the event. First, I wanted to make it out of pools again. And second, use all the extra time I'll have by entering one event to meet as many West Coast Melty players as possible and grind. Sometimes it can be kind of tricky for me to get games with them online due to how far east I am, so I had to make sure to get those games in while I could. However, it was also a chance to put faces to names and hang out with the people I knew online over our shared passions. Alright, opening done, my mouth is extremely tired. Let's boot up some Pokemon Leaf Green and head out to the desert. We arrived safely in the afternoon at the Tropicana Doubletree on Thursday, which is just a short walk away from the venue. The room itself was rather nice, though I found out quickly that the TV in the hotel wouldn't let us switch the input, which meant I couldn't use the PS4 I brought with me on it. But instead of giving in and watching whatever weird stuff Vegas thinks I want to watch, I did a little finagling and boom, we've got Melty Blood on the TV. We proceeded to barely use it in our room for games. Once settled in, we made our way to EVO's hotel, the Mandalay. If you've never been to it, it's actually 3 separate hotels connected into one building. The Mandalay with a large casino, the Delano with a more refined and elegant aesthetic, and the Luxor, which we will talk about later. Now, this walk established the difference between Florida heat and desert dry heat. You may have heard about the Florida stereotype of someone saying, "Oh, it's not the heat that gets ya, it's the humidity." Why did I give it that accent? Now, I'm just gonna say it. After experiencing the 100-degree dry heat of Vegas, it is way worse than humid heat. I was not sweating, and feeling the heat just sit in my body was not fun at all. I could only describe the overall feeling to family at home as weird, but it sucked. It was awful. It actually felt great being back in the humidity when I got home. It was messed up. Okay, enough about the weather. The walk to the venue, even when in the hotel, was quite a distance. The line itself was long, but thankfully we didn't have to wait nearly as long as the others who showed up later than us because, wow, that was brutal. Surely the line to get into the venue tomorrow won't be as bad. Have you guys heard about this foreshadowing thing video essayists talk about? Now with our badges secured, it was time to get some games in. Though the venue itself was not open until tomorrow, that doesn't mean gamers aren't finding places to game. Someone at the Mandalay had a room, and several of us packed in to hang out and practice. With Melty already going on, someone had an extra monitor but no setup. I had left my PS4 at my hotel, but I offered to take the walk back and grab it. Some walking later, and boom, we're gaming. Eventually it got dark, and since Medusa had an early pool Friday, we walked back to our room, with the lights of the strip guiding us. On my initial walk back to the hotel, I found out there was an overpass over the highway directly from our hotel, which was greatly appreciated as the amount of cars in this area is kinda fucked up. Eventually we did get back, and after some food, we went to sleep.
The Mandalay in the morning, on the way to the venue. We gotta go over there.
After grabbing some coffee, we left early from our hotel room to get to the venue, and wow, the line, it was so long. Like, we were nowhere close to the front. Now, part of that may have to do with the over 7,000 competitors at the event this year, including the over 5,000 people signed up for Street Fighter 6 alone. It didn't matter that we had our badges early, we were still waiting. So I decided to make the best of a bad situation, and pulled out my Game Boy, and turned my phone into a Twitch streaming device. Now you may be wondering, Arkma, why are you playing Pokemon Leaf Green? Why did you bring your Game Boy with you in the first place when you've never mentioned doing so in a vlog before? Well, a few days before the event, fellow multiplayer Raiden sent a message in the PSA server's EVO chat asking if people would like to do Gen 3 Pokemon trading since they had gotten into the games again. I decided to take them up on the offer and help them grab Leaf Green exclusives, but I had one problem. My current Leaf Green cartridge had no save data, so in the last few days before EVO, I was both grinding Melty Blood and grinding Pokemon Leaf Green. I'm sure skills in one have a crossover into the other somewhere. While in this line, I managed to snag one of the last Kanto exclusives I needed, a Slowpoke, aptly named EVO Line. To the two people who actually saw that live stream, I salute you.
After 3,000 years, finally. Good morning. After 3,000 years, I'm finally in the venue. And the first thing I'm going... Your boy got pissed. And then we run into the melty setups.
After my bladder was drained, I walked around the venue for a little bit before buying some cool keychains because I clearly don't have enough yet. After some more walking, the melty bracket started, with blood being melted all over the place. Medusa made it out on the winner's side, and after some time, it was my turn to play. My first 2 cents went well enough, but I wasn't feeling that comfortable with my play. I just felt off. My third set against Silicon's Red Arcuid was a wake-up call as it went Game 3 last round. After narrowly clutching it out, I had to play Akimi, who I was hoping to get to play. Though she is a homie, and you don't want to have to fight it in bracket, I did have a desire to win the set. I mean, the obvious one is making it out of Pool's winner's side, but the other was that if I lost and bracket proceeded as expected, I'd be running into Medusa and losers, and that's the last thing I wanted to do. The set was streamed, and it was the most calm I've ever been on a tourney set. I don't know why, but I guess after the last set, my body decided to cooperate. After a good close set, I managed to win, punching my ticket to round 2 Pool's winner's side. This also earned me my coveted third Chipotle card, as well as this cool Neko Arc drawing. In between pools and second pools, I had a small amount of time in between. With this time, I met up with the great photographer Blue Rose Tori, who I commissioned prior to the event to take several portrait shots of me here. You can see them on the screen now. I never thought I could look this good. If you're at any event she's going to, I 100% recommend commissioning her. She's awesome. After finishing our session and briefly grabbing some coffee and some very expensive beef jerky, I got back to the venue in time for the top cut pools. My first set was with Lunar, which went alright, but I couldn't keep up. In losers, I beat Panic Attack before losing a close set with Fajita Ida just before top 24. Though I was a little sad to just miss out, I was happy with how I played and was excited to watch the rest of the sets and get more games in. Top 24 finished a little after, settling at a top 6 that would play Saturday morning. With the blood settled for now, many went off to grab food, hang out, or meet up in hotel rooms for more games. I would be doing the latter, heading over to a hotel room in the Luxor. Alright, I can finally talk about the Luxor. So, to get there, you have to pass through a mall with various shops. This includes a Ron John surf shop, despite the fact that we are way too far away from any surfable waters. This doesn't even make me feel like I'm at home. What is this doing here? Well, past all that, when you finally get to the end of the mall... Well, I wasn't ready for it. I had just cut the recording I was doing just before. So here's my new recording of me just entering the Luxor.
Okay, no, I'm gonna keep recording. You know why? Because this shit's trippy as fuck. I have no idea what direction I'm in right now. Like, it's already been kind of hard because there's no ocean. I can't just like go, oh, the water that way. I have no idea where I am to begin with, and being in this is more confusing. I'm looking for... Is that the Titanic? This city confuses the ever-loving shit out of me. I'm gonna be 100% with all of you. I'm gonna leave and I'll be like, what did you learn? Nothing.
I don't have any pictures of this gaming session, so enjoy these pictures of me hanging around the area until I was picked up. The rest of the night we gamed and hung out before leaving around 11 p.m. for the hotel room, ending Friday so that we could be rested for Saturday. Saturday was finals day for Lumina. Medusa and I made our way to seats near the stage, which was very quick since EVO obliterated the line between Friday and Saturday. Top 6 was amazing. I wish I had more crowd reactions, but you'll have to be content with the EVO stream shots, as I was way too hyped to record it all. The highlight was watching Jimmy J go absolutely crazy with CL in the bracket, but the whole top 6 was awesome. It was so hyped that once bracket was over, a bunch of us were fiending for more sets. Unfortunately, all the Melty setups were switched to Marvel 3 for their bracket, so we were out of luck. Thankfully, I learned from yesterday and brought my PS4 with me, I just needed a monitor. Me and a cabal of the Melty players then made our way to the Bring Your Own Console area, where we found a table not being used along with a monitor. We set it up and I immediately called for a match, with some stakes, which was then answered. What resulted was several serious sets at one setup in front of a gang of Melty players full of hype. The festivity was streamed, but Twitch didn't save the VOD, so all I've got is some phone images and recordings.
Oh, okay, Vic. I see you.
Let's go.
As for me, I was 2 for 3 in my personal sets, which I was very happy with. This setup and all the hype amongst our group was a highlight of this trip. Eventually, we did have to move as it was nearing time for the Actress Again Current Code side event to happen in the area. A bracket I did not know about, which I was not entered in. Fuck! It was fine. I did get some games in, and I even let them use my laptop for a setup, which is good. While watching some MBAC and just chilling, Raiden and I initiated our several days long plan. We started our Pokemon trading. They sent me over some Pokemon and assisted me with all of the trade EVOs that I had never done before, while I gave all of my Leaf Green exclusives. This was a lot of fun, but a funny thing was that while we were doing it, we ended up waiting in line at the Project L queue to try out the demo. So once our trades were mostly done, we tried it out, and it was pretty fun, even if I was just kind of pressing buttons. I don't have any footage, but I'm interested to see how it develops.
Good. Yay, Alakazam, let's go.
Once MBAC finished, it had gotten pretty late. Before doing anything else, I captured some final footage before exiting the venue. EVO only keeps the convention area open for Friday and Saturday. Sunday is only the arena, so it was a final time to talk while there.
They're already starting to break setups and stuff down, so thought I'd probably start moving. Oh no, good trip. I did some Pokemon trades. I probably used some footage from that because that was really cool. Tomorrow is really just a chill day though, which is good because my voice is dying. I was cheering so hard for Scrot and Jimmy, and you know what? It was a lot of fun.
Sunday was the last day of the trip, and I spent it walking to different hotel rooms, all in the name of playing Melty Blood. I played in the bathroom of the room where the 10v10 NA versus the World Crew battle happened. I played in the Luxor again, and I even got some games in the Mandalay lower floor and the Delano. Apologies that the footage here is sparse, but since we were in different hotel rooms, I wasn't as focused on recording it all. As well, there was a unique vibe to each of these experiences Sunday that I don't think I can put into words. Eventually, though, Medusa and I made our way back to the hotel at the end of the night, before parting the next day for our respective flights. On the road one last time, I went to the gate and had maybe the best food of the weekend at the airport. A delicious pizza and a Guinness at the Wolfgang Puck Express, which was very close to my gate. Fuck! After quickly consuming my food and drink, I made my way to the other terminal and got myself a coffee before boarding. And to finally bring this trip to a close, I completed another adventure just before the plane touched down. And that concludes my trip to EVO. As a start, I want to thank everyone who lent a space in their rooms for the weekend. Winty, Nega Reaper, and Rena, y'all are great for that. Second, everyone, be it West Coast, other states, or outside the country, it was a pleasure getting to meet you all. My greatest desire for this trip was meeting with you all, and it was an absolute blast. And a special thanks to Medusa for traveling with me all the way from Florida. You were an awesome roomie, and I'm glad you were able to make it out. While EVO isn't the perfect event by any means, be it a lack of friendly setups, only having 2 days in the convention area, or the dumb top 6 instead of top 8, that's still dumb. It was the community experience that made it a blast to attend. Will I go again next year? Maybe. If I'm vibing with Tekken 8 or Under Night 2, I'll maybe head back. If not, I for sure will try attending another event out west soon. Thank you for watching to the end. I really enjoy making these video logs of events I go to. Both to showcase what tournaments are like, while making a personal journal of a trip I've made is a fun time. I'm planning on making more for the next 2 events I'll be participating in, CEO Taku and First Attack, so I hope you can look forward to it. That's it from me. Oh, and hop on Melty, please.